Okay, good day everyone. Welcome to this channel. So this time we're going to have another topic in general mathematics, which is bonds. These are the objectives. And these are the questions that you should be able to answer at the end of the discussion. In the previous topic, we discussed about ways on how a corporation can raise funds or how they can make money in order to maintain the operation of the company and have some expansions. So one way is through equity financing, which is selling stocks, and the other way is through debt financing, which is actually issuing bonds. So what is a bond? It is a form of long-term promissory note issued by a corporation or government in exchange for a sum of money. So a bond is a loan. These are debts owed to investor. It is an official promissory document issued by a debtor stating the acknowledgement of the amount of debt and the pledge to pay back the loaned amount. So whoever is the issuer of the bond promises to pay back the principal and the interest of the bond at a given maturity date. That's why a bond is also called a fixed income security. So there is a specific interest for the loaned money, for the loaned amount. Now, a bondholder called as is a creditor. So whoever uh, gives money or invests using bonds, they are called bondholders. But they do not become a part owner of the company. They are simply creditors. So they are the one who holds a corporation or government bonds. So that is a security, or it is an evidence that that corporation or government has a debt to pay to her or to him. So that is a bond. Let's differentiate between stocks and bonds. So stocks are equities or shares, while a bond is a debt. Stockholders are part owners to the corporation, while a bondholders are creditors. Stockholders are entitled to profit sharing or returns, while a bondholder is only entitled to the principal with a fixed interest rate. But they have higher claims on assets. So they have preferential treatment when the bonds mature. In case of bankruptcy, they will get paid first before a stockholder. So bond yields lower returns, so mababa yung kita, but they are exposed to lesser risk unlike the stocks. Okay, stockholders receive dividends, bondholders do not, and stockholders have the voting rights a bondholder doesn't have, since they are not part owners of the company. So that is the difference between a stocks and a bonds. Let's discuss now the terminologies concerning bonds. So we have here the issuer, which is the company or the government issuing the bond. So they are the one borrowing money. Now we also have the coupon, or the amount of the bondholder will receive as interest payments. So here, they unlike in stocks, they issue a certificate of stock. So here they issue a coupon. Now it is called such because in the past, there are physical coupons on the bonds that you will tear off and redeem for interest. Okay? You also have the coupon rate, which is the fixed interest rate that the issuer pays to the creditor. So this is usually expressed as percentage of par value. If the par value is 1,000 and the bond pays 10%, then it will pay 100 pesos interest a year. And then we also have the coupon date. These are interval dates on which the bond issuer will make interest payments. So usually, bonds is paid semi-annually or annually. And then we also have the maturity date, or the date the bond will mature, in which the investor's principal will be repaid. This is the date when they will get the payment. Okay? And the maturity value is the amount which will be paid to the bondholder on the coupon date. So that is the maturity value. How do bondholders earn the income? The interest given by the corporation as a government unit who issued the bonds serve as the income of the bond. The interest of the bond is based on the par value because the par value serves as the principal. So to compute for the interest, that is equal to the par value times the rate times the time. So this is how a bondholder earns dividends, or that is the amount of the interest. Now let's have the two values of bonds. We have here the face value, capital F, also referred to as the par value. That is the amount printed on the face of the bond which the borrower promises to pay the bondholder on the due date. So face value is not the price of the bond because it fluctuates throughout its life for a number of variables or reasons. So face value is the amount stated in the bond to be used by the bondholder in calculating interest once it matures. So it may be greater than or less than the amount of the par value. Now, while the market value is the price at which the bond is being sold. Now, if the market value is equal to the face value, so the bond is selling at par. If the bond price or the market value is greater than the face value, the bond is selling at premium. While if the bond's price or the market value is less than the par value or the face value, then the bond is selling at discount. So let's have an example. Miss Y purchased 106% bonds from GHO Corporation. Each bond has a face value of 1,000 pesos and were purchased at 960 pesos. The bond matures in 5 years. How much will Miss Y receive for all the bonds if the dividends are paid semi-annually? So to compute for the dividends or for the interest, annual interest, we have face value, which is 1,000, times the rate, which is 6% or 0.6 times 1. Why 1, not 5? Because we are talking about annual interest. So we will just multiply it by 1. 5 here, ibig sabihin nito, the bondholder will receive an annual interest for 5 years. Okay? So computing for the annual interest, you will have 60 pesos. That is the annual dividend for each bond. But we are looking for semi-annually. So every 6 months yan. So that means we will divide this by 2. So that will be 30 pesos, or this is the semi-annual dividend for each bond. And then since he bought or she bought 106% bonds, so multiply 30 by 100. So the interest or the dividends will be 3,000. That will be the semi-annual dividends for 100 bonds. Or 6,000 kapag annual lang yung bayad. 6,000 pesos. That will be the dividends or the annual dividends of Miss White. Okay, let's have a follow-up question for problem number 1. Letter B, compute for the maturity value of the bonds. So the maturity value is simply equal to the face value times the number of bonds. So we have the face value 1,000 times the number of bonds is 100. So that will give us 100,000 pesos. That is the market value. Now for letter C, after the maturity date, how much is the total earnings of Miss Y? So earnings will be equal to the maturity value plus the dividends minus the purchase price. So we'll have 100,000 plus the dividends that we have solved earlier, which is 3,000, minus the purchase price is 960 times 100. So that will give you 103 minus 96,000. So the earning of Miss Y, or the annual earning of Miss Y, will be 7,000. Okay, let's have a follow-up question for number 1. So letter B, compute the maturity value of the bonds. The maturity value is equal to the face value times the number of bonds. So the number of bonds is 100 and the face value is 1,000. So that will give us the market value of 100,000. For letter C, after the maturity date, how much is the total earnings of Miss Y? So the earnings is equal to the maturity value plus the dividends minus the purchase price. So that will be the maturity value is 100,000 and the annual dividends that we have computed earlier is 6,000. Semi-annual is 3,000. So for the 6,000 annual interest that will mature for 5 years, so the total will be 30,000. So 6,000 times 5 minus the purchase price, which is 100 bonds for 960 each. So that will give us 100 plus 30, that will give you 130,000. And this is 96,000. So the total earnings will be 34,000 pesos. So that will be the earnings of Miss Y for the 100 bonds. Okay, let's have another example. Determine the amount of a coupon for a bond which with face value of 250,000 that pays 10% payable quarterly. So the interest again is par value times the rate times the time. So you will have 0.10 times 250, that will give you an annual interest of 25,000 pesos. And since you are asked to look for the quarterly payment, so we will divide it by 4. So therefore, you will have 6,250 for the quarterly dividend. I hope that is clear. Okay, let's have this example. Find the market price of 1,000 bond at each quoted price. So you have 96, 102, and 106.25. 96 means 96% of the par value of the bond. 102 means 102%. And 106.25 means 106.25% of the par value of the bond. So we can compute the market value by multiplying the price and the rate. So we have the price 1,000 times 96%, change the decimal, that is 0.96. So the value of each bond is 960 pesos. For letter B, we have 1,000 times change 102% to decimal. So move 2 places to the left. So that will give you 1.02. So the bond can be bought at 1,020 pesos per bond. And for letter C, again, 106.25%, move 2 decimal places to the left, that will give you 1.0625 times 1,000. So you will purchase, or you can purchase the bond at 1,062.50 pesos per bond. So that is how you compute for the market value. Now for letter A, since the price or since the market value is lower than the price, so the bond is selling at discount. Now for letter B and C, the bond is selling at premium. Since from 1,000, you can sell it at 1,020 and 1,062.50. Okay, let's have this example. Andre Pensuto bought 21,000 pesos JHO Corporation bonds at 95 plus 20 pesos commission per bond through a broker. What is Andre's amount of investment? So first, let us solve first for the market value of the bond. So that is equal to the price times the rate. So the price is 1,000 pesos at 95. So meaning the rate is 0.95. So multiply that one, that will give us 950 per bond. And since we have 20 bonds, we multiply 950 by 20, so the total amount of bonds is 19,000. Now there is a 20 pesos commission per bond, so we will multiply the commission 20 pesos times 20 bonds, so that will give you 400 pesos. Therefore, the total amount of investment of Andre is, adding these two, that will give you 19,400 pesos. Before buying any bonds, it is important to know the rate of income you will receive from it. In this way, you can compare bonds with other types of investment. So the rate of income is often called yield or dividend rate. So dividend rate is the interest rate the bond issuer will use in computing the interest payment. So it is the ratio of the annual income to the total investment. Or we can say that it is obtained by dividing the bond's annual interest or the annual income, which is computed using the par value as the principal divided by its purchase price or the investment. So yields indicates annual return until the bonds mature. So again, annual income is the interest and the investment is the purchase price. So when the yield goes up, the bond price goes down. And when the yield goes down, the bond price goes up. Okay, this time let's compute for the yield. Determine the yield for the buyer of a 5-year 5% bond of 1 million pesos face value if on the date it is issued, it is purchased from its original owner. The first one is par. So the yield is equal to the annual interest divided by P or the purchase price. So we will have 0.05. Interest is equal to the rate times the face value. So that will be 0.055% times the 1 million divided by the purchase price, which is also at par. So when we say at par, the same lang yung face value. So this will be equal to 5%. Okay? So the same lang kasi nga at par. Letter B, for 970,000. So again, this is equal to Y annual interest. So we'll have 0.05 times 1 million again, and the purchase price this time is 970. So this will be 5.15%. And for 1.1 million, so you will have 0.05 times 1 million divided by the purchase price, 1.1 million. So this will give you 4.54%. So this is how you compute for the yield or the rate of income. Okay, that ends our discussion for today. For your output, visit the Google Classroom and then kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.